Right now, you can order a humanoid robot online for $5,900. That's the Unitree R1, a walking, talking machine that costs less than a decent gaming PC. 5 years ago, this was million-dollar lab hardware. Today it has an add to cart button. So what changed? And that's not demo reel hype. In a GXO warehouse in Flowery Branch, Georgia, a humanoid called Digit has moved more than 100,000 totes on a real commercial contract. Not a pilot video, paid work, tracked in hours, on a customer's actual floor. The humanoid race just got real. So here's the plan for this video. You'll meet the 5 players that matter: Tesla, Figure, Boston Dynamics, Unitree, and Agility. You'll see what these machines genuinely do versus what staged demos suggest, why prices are collapsing, and what it honestly means for jobs. Plain English, verified numbers, zero hype. First, why now? 3 things collided. AI models learned general movement from video and teleoperation data instead of hand-coded routines. Chinese manufacturing crushed hardware costs, and big customers started signing multi-year contracts instead of one-off pilots. Any one of those is interesting. All 3 at once is why 2026 feels different. Start with the loudest name, Tesla Optimus. Here's the honest number: 0 units sold as of July 2026. Elon Musk has promised millions of robots for years. What actually exists, by outside estimates? Around 1,000 earlier generation units doing chores inside Tesla's own factories. That's the gap between keynote and reality. But don't write Tesla off. In July, it confirmed the Model S and X lines at Fremont are gone, replaced by Optimus production lines, with output targeted later this year. Gen 3 hand production started in January. Target price, $20,000 to $30,000. The catch, 10,000 unique parts and no ready supply chain. Next, Figure, the quiet overachiever. Its Baku factory in California went from building 1 robot per day to 1 robot per hour in under 4 months. That's a 24x jump, and over 350 Figure 03 units have shipped. While Tesla is still building its factory, Figure is running one. Figure's real weapon is software. Its Helix model drives the entire robot with one neural network, camera pixels in, whole body movement out. By Figure's count, the January update replaced about 109,000 lines of handwritten control code. And every robot shipped feeds data back, so the fleet keeps teaching itself. Then the veteran, Boston Dynamics. The new electric Atlas is in production, and here's the wild part. The entire 2026 output is already spoken for, split between parent company Hyundai and Google DeepMind. No more backflips for likes. Atlas is learning car factory work at Hyundai's Robotics Training Center in Georgia. And Hyundai isn't dabbling. It's putting $26 billion into U.S. operations, including a dedicated robot factory targeting 30,000 Atlas units per year by 2028, with full deployment at its Savannah EV plant planned that same year. When a carmaker commits real factory capacity, that's not a marketing stunt. Now the disruptor, China's Unitree. By its own count, it shipped over 5,500 humanoids in 2025, more units than anyone else on the planet. Its robots performed a fully autonomous kung fu routine on live TV. And in July 2026, regulators approved its Shanghai IPO near a $6 billion valuation. Unitree isn't alone. China has dozens of humanoid startups in a full-blown price war, backed by the same supply chain that conquered drones and EVs. And the pilots are spreading. Japan Airlines is testing Unitree robots for baggage handling at Haneda Airport. Cheap hardware, shipped at volume. That's China's play. And the sleeper, Agility Robotics. Its Digit robot has worked real factory shifts at auto supplier Schaeffler in South Carolina since early 2025, runs that GXO warehouse from the intro, and has been tested inside Amazon facilities. Now it's going public in a $2.5 billion deal, America's first pure humanoid stock. Players set. Now the uncomfortable part. Most viral robot videos are marketing. The backflips are choreographed. Plenty of autonomous clips are teleoperated, a human driving remotely, or sped up and cherry-picked from dozens of takes. So here's my rule of thumb for every robot video you see online. What can they honestly do today unsupervised? Move totes and bins between conveyors. 10 machines, load a part, press a button, unload it. Sort and sequence components in tidy, predictable spaces. That's genuine work. But it's narrow, and today's humanoids are still slower than an experienced human at nearly all of it. What they can't do matters more. Fine dexterity, cables, cloth, anything floppy still defeats them. They're bad at improvising when something unexpected happens. Runtimes are measured in hours, not full shifts, so they hot swap batteries or dock. And nobody's humanoid is ready to roam your messy house. Not this year. Now the economics, because this is the engine underneath everything. Watch the entry price. Unitree's G1 debuted in 2024 at around $16,000. The R1 arrived 1 year later at $5,900, roughly 60% cheaper in 12 months. Humanoid hardware is riding the same cost curve drones did. Zoom out. The actual humanoid market in 2026 is small, around $4 to $6 billion worldwide. But Morgan Stanley projects $5 trillion by 2050, with over 1 billion robots working. Treat any 50-year forecast with salt. Still, every serious analyst has this market compounding fast. Direction, agreed. Timing, debated. Here's the math making CFOs lean in. Most humanoids rent as a service, so there's no giant upfront cost. Morgan Stanley pegs potential savings at $500,000 to $1 million per replaced worker over 20 years, and vendors claim 12 to 18-month payback. Caveat: that assumes uptime fleets don't consistently hit yet. Which brings us to jobs, and a number nobody screams about. America had roughly 500,000 unfilled warehouse and logistics positions in early 2026. Right now, robots mostly cover shifts companies literally can't staff. Overnight, repetitive, injury-heavy work. Today, it's less robot took my job and more robot took the vacancy. But let's be honest about the trajectory. Filling vacancies is phase one. If costs keep falling, repetitive roles shrink. That's literally the pitch to investors. And workers see it coming. When Hyundai penciled in thousands of Atlas robots for its own plants, its union pushed back. No deployment without a labor deal. So who's actually exposed? First in line. Predictable, repetitive, physical work. Tote moving, kitting, simple machine tending. Safer for much longer. Anything messy and human, skilled trades, caregiving, repairs and unstructured places. New roles like robot fleet supervisor are appearing too, just fewer than the roles automated. That's the honest trade. My take: it's real this time, but real like the internet in 1996. The direction is unmistakable, and the timelines are still overhyped. China is winning on price and volume, America on autonomy software. So ignore the demo videos and watch the boring numbers: deployments, uptime, cost per task. For things to watch over the next 12 months. Does Optimus actually ship to an outside customer? Does Figure's fleet reach the thousands? Does a Chinese humanoid crack $3,000? And do GXO-style contracts spread to 10 more big names? Those answers tell you whether this is 1996 or 2006. That's the humanoid race in 2026. Real robots, real contracts, and a price curve pointing straight down. If this saved you an hour of hype filtering, subscribe for plain English tech breakdowns. And tell me in the comments, what's the first job you genuinely trust a robot to do in your home?